I did try and wash it. You can see the mud's all wet. Didn't get any water up here though. Better try harder next time. Hey everyone, this is what 480,000 k's of outback travel looks like. We were doing the usual system. We've decided we're going to seal up all the lines and take it out and pressure wash it down. There's nothing wrong with this one. It's been looked after as per my recommendation and maybe got lucky. I'm just changing the whole unit as preventive maintenance because when there is a problem with these, the evidence, experience from what we've seen, it is rare. But the only way to fix it reliably is replace the whole unit. You can get lucky cleaning things, you can get lucky with the pump, but I've got a few spare pumps there from people that have tried that and it didn't work. So we're going to seal it all up and give it a good clean down. We're going to have a good second-hand spare one of these if someone's got a fuel transfer problem and they don't want to pay nearly $2,000 for that assembly. You can have my old one for 500 bucks. There you go. First in, best dressed. Read the description and the title. I'll change it to sold once it's sold and gone. But until further notice, it'll be in one of the workshop partners' workshops, waiting for either a sale or you can book it in here for replacement if you need to. Quite difficult to manage some of these clips, to remove those, awkward positions. There's quite a bit of work involved, mess to clean up, all that sort of thing. But if you want it done right the first time, take it to someone that's got some experience, I reckon. Yeah, my maintenance program is different to Toyota's. Toyota now say you got to do this on a lot of the later Protos, 150s, whatever, whenever it changed, I don't know. They want to drop the tank, do all this work, take this out and change just the pump. But we basically, have you ever seen a pump fail in one of these?
Rare, very
Rare.
rare.
Have you seen a pump fail there? 'Cause I haven't. No, so I haven't seen a pump fail, right? So I'll say we haven't seen a pump fail. So that would be a waste of time. Why would you add that to your schedule? You may as well replace an alternator first. That's easier. And the amount of work involved and the cost of the pump is probably cheaper as well. But thereabouts. So in my opinion, you don't change the pump. You do this when it fails. You make sure you keep your breather clean. Change your fuel filter regularly. That's this one hanging here. Every 20,000 K is the recommendation. If you've got manufacturing debris in the filter, it's there to clean the system before it messes with the system. If you add a problem here, like say all this dirt from the clips and dirt gets in the line, or any manufacturing debris in that filter get in there, then that could be what causes the problem. And people have pulled these apart and cleaned them out before. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Replacing it with a whole unit is generally relatively successful most of the time, because I'm going to cover myself, because one day somebody's not going to check the breather, there's going to be something else, something different's going to happen. You're going to say, Anthony, I paid $2,000 to replace that and it didn't fix it. So yeah, not guaranteed, but I'll tell you it's the most successful way. And I've just decided I'll have a new pump, I'll have a new sender unit, I'll have a whole new assembly, everything, because this one's 17, 18 years old. So it's going in as preventive maintenance at 480K before retirement. Right, this looks a little bit better than before. It's going to have all the dirt stain on it still. A bit more drying out here in the sun before we work on it, but it's going to help with any clips and that we need to remove. And while we're at it, that's the opportunity to talk about this one. So one of the biggest causes, if you don't change the fuel filter, it's going to block up. And what was designed as a prevention to this fuel transfer system problem is going to be the cause of the problem. If this is blocked up, the fuel can't transfer. So this needs to be changed every 20,000. It's bolted to the floor of the vehicle with two 10mm sockets, two 10mm bolt head 10mm socket. M6 bolts, don't rush. They could be dirty, you'll cross thread them, and then you'll just need to sort that out. Now, I'll show you how these clips work quite simply. The easiest way to DIY change this, you'll be looking at it from this side going, what goes on? Don't stick your screwdriver in that hole there and try and open it. It will not work, okay? So looking at the top side, which you probably haven't seen before, let me just take a photo because it'll come in handy. And I'll put it up somewhere and say, that's what it looks like. So your easy way is to get a flat blade screwdriver and just push that little tab there, or your hand just like that if you want. And you're sort of pushing in and down at the same time, and it'll just pop down just a little bit if I had another hand. And then you do the other side, and then you do this side. But basically, if you can push the two of those like that and push it out a little bit, or keep those squeezed with your hand just like that, once you've done that, you can put your little flat blade in that hole there where you can see someone's done that. 500,000 Ks, 480 Ks, so that's been done 1, 2, 3, 4. You work it out about 20 or 30 times over its lifetime. So this one's in pretty good condition considering we've seen a lot more butchered up. So don't get in there and lever it out until you've definitely released those two clips simply by squeezing them towards each other. And I've done this before, but I'll do it again because we can't do them all. So if you did hang around and you're looking for the info on how to do this, you're going to have to figure out some of it yourself. It's a big job, and can't just video everything for you forever. You need to pull your back seats out, your carpet out, and those plate off the top. There's only access there to unplug a couple of things. There's no access to change this, so I don't think it's that easy. You got to drop your tank out. Guarantee you that. Quite fiddly. This clip here, I just want to show you what it looks better like with a light. So to release this, see the two little tabs, one each side. It's just those two tabs. That's all you got to do. You don't want to go in too far and damage that O-ring. You want to make sure that's clean before you put it all back there. So there's a bit of dirt. So if we were to push that back on out, could push dirt from here down onto that O-ring and create a leak. So we've got to clean that and put a bit of moly coat on it before we put it back together. But basically, see these two, it's kind of hard to explain. Let me show it to you that way as well, right? See these two side tabs in there? That's what holds it on the plastic. So you're pushing these back like that. So you need to, if you haven't got a special tool, a couple little flat blades gently in each side to push that back, and then that'll be a bit stuck, but eventually it'll pull back. This one at the top here, it's a bit of a fiddly one. Let me go to the other end and show you. What seems obvious, well, it's not really that obvious. It'll look like you kind of need to squeeze that in. It does look like that because you've got these clips in behind there. Just don't worry about that. Just get the special tool, or if you haven't got it, once again, it's just like the other one. I'll turn the light on. Helps when you've got the light on. It's going to be hard to focus, but it's basically two little side tabs. You've got to push that way and push that way on the inside. So like a flat blade, if you haven't got a special tool, will suffice to push right in the middle of the picture there. You can see that little scrape mark where the screwdriver's gone. You might not be able to see too well, but you're basically pushing those two apart. One there and one there, and then that'll just slide off. Pretty easy once you know how it all works. Easier said than done though, of course. So like always, this one isn't necessarily a comprehensive video. You carefully remove your 5 clips, get your lines out of the way. Take note of this. Got the extra little bit in between if you like, and the arrows on the tank and where it's at for when you put it back together. This undone, you can muck around, or we've got a custom made special tool here that works really well actually. You can probably hire that from us, maybe, if you're lucky. If you can hold the tank, I'm just going to show people these locking things. So we've loosened it, and I was turning. Oh no, it's on the lock. It's on the lock. That's right. So this is what I want to show you. Right, see this? You get to there, that hits, and then you can just do it with your hand. I'm just trying to demonstrate how easy it is. Once it becomes loose, right, they turn. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's 1, 2, 3 on the top of the pump assembly, right? So look, it's come around there. You got to keep doing this a few times. I'm trying to do this one-handed and video, right? So come on, credit where credit's due. But they keep coming up, and you just got to keep, it just keeps happening until the cover lifts up. It's squashing the O-ring down, right? So that one will get there as well. I have to do it again. It's getting awkward, so you get the drift. Configuration, remember the plug's facing forward as well. It's spring loaded, so I'll just show you what it looks like as you're loosening it. So it helps if you hold that centerpiece down while you're loosening this. Once you've done that, you can remove this, give that a good clean before you put it back on. You can see how much we cleaned it and look at all the muck that's left again. And there's an O-ring there, which is probably nothing wrong with it, I've got to say, but I did get a new one, and the new one's orange, so it may be improved better again. It's time to lift that out. I'll get my assistant for that with the drain tray. Look how clean it is, mate, you know. It's good as new. And you get your sender unit hanging off the side somewhere, so take note of where that is, people. It's not on this side. Black in diesel, that's about normal. What we're worried about, oh, look how clean that is. There is a little bit of crap sitting in the bottom there. That's all the fuel that's left in the tank. That's down almost to empty. You can see how much fuel's still in there. It's still above the, that baffle there. I'm going to say there could be 20 litres in this tank. It's not bad. A little bit of debris there. Let's turn the light on and get in and have a look at it now with the light on. So yeah, a bit of debris just sitting on the bottom there. I'd sort of love to soak that up, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to touch it. Good look around. Get to know the inside of a fuel tank. I might call the video that. Get to know the inside of your fuel tank. Probably wouldn't recommend using a phone. You know, at the servos, you can't use the, this is a phone. You can't use the phone near the fuel. Well, this is diesel. I don't think I'd be as game doing it with a petrol tank. But anyway. That's forward. Yeah, just that bit of debris there. I find that bloody annoying. I almost want to get a clean rag and submerge it in there.
I've seen that before.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying.
The only way you're going to do that is to empty the tank. And
Can everyone see those little bits of brass filings there? Bloody not good, mate. Coming back from the supply pump. Might have to put a supply pump on this thing as well. Hey, what's next? There's the new one. The old one's pretty good, but yeah, like I said, the new one's orange, probably improved. Let's get it out of the bag and compare them. Back when we were apprentices and secondary school, there was all these punks wearing O-rings around their necks, these bogans. Were you one of them? Because I didn't wear one. And there were some O-ring seal off of plumbing, you know, where'd you get, what's this about? Oh yeah, you know, it's just the thing. Well, where do they come from? Oh, my dad's a plumber, you know, they're just off the old toilets or something like that. Whatever you can see, just compare the size. I'm going to need 2 hands, and then we're just going to put a bit of the usual molly coat on the new O-ring, and we'll keep the old one for a spare, because yeah, clearly you can see nothing wrong with it. I've never seen a leak from one. Yeah, no, that's it. Ooh, look, nice new one, beautiful, expensive on a 120, bloody expensive. The pump's in there, the whole assembly, everything's in there. There's nothing else you really need. Beautiful. Once that's in and tight, remember configuration of that little double line, that extra one in the middle there between those 2 dots, which is where it is. I cranked it pretty firm. Give these a bit of a clean before they go in. We don't want to put any dirt in anything new. Carefully put your clips back in the way they came. All right, so all back together here. We'll put a bit of double-sided tape under there. It's normally got a bit of Velcro, but you know, good strong quality double-sided tape will help hold that down. And of course, the new filter's on. Works really well when the clips are clean. So the tip is, wash your vehicle up under the tail shaft where this filter is, and wash all the dirt out of here before you try and access. They were so easy to change. It was beautiful. The last thing I want to show you, which is completely different if you're watching the videos on this fuel transfer unit, let's put a new one in the V6. And it's problematic on the petrol versions for these sender units in both tanks to fail, and you need to do all the same, drop the tanks, change the sender units. That's this component here as a minimum, and it plugs in. But while you're in there, that's where I go. You may as well just do the whole thing. Get your pump done, get the whole lot. It's an old car, spend some money. Poor man pays twice, get the whole thing done. But my point I would like to make here before we wrap this one up is on the petrols, this wears out. On the diesel, This fuel gauge at 500,000 Ks, like most of the other cars, working and accurate. And you can see, looking at that one, things might be a bit dirty and black, but that gauge itself, it's in very good condition. It's not worn out, it's going to be rare. So this is where the petrols with all the components and the labour can cost you thousands of dollars to replace those. Is a big expense that the diesels don't have, which maybe offsets injector replacement, that sort of thing. Just for the people that think, oh, you know, the diesels need so much work. They actually don't. They're a lot more efficient on fuel, a lot more suitable for off-roading and towing compared to the petrol. But the petrol's an awesome engine. If that's what you choose, good for you. But just be aware, these things here, when your fuel gauge plays up, not cheap to replace. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next video.